Hello my loves, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video, which is going to be a pretty much full get ready with me using new drugstore products that I really had to have from Ulta. These are so exciting, and drugstore back in the day didn't typically excite me, but guys, they have been releasing some really bomb products. So let me tell you that not all of these are first impression. In fact, only one is going to be. I have used all of these at least once. So we've got the Maybelline Perfector. I have got, now this is not new, but it's an Essence pomade pencil for the brows, and I was super curious about this because I know Too Faced released something similar, so definitely wanted to try that. Got my hands on the e.l.f. Putty bronzer. This is so exciting. The Revolution, what is it? Heat eyeshadow palette, something along those lines. And then totally random is the Colourpop blush, which I did purchase from the Colourpop website. But it is now at Ulta, and pretty much everything else I picked up at Ulta. So if you're interested in seeing how these products work for me, maybe just kind of hanging out and doing makeup together, then just keep on watching. So starting off with the Essence Super Last 24-Hour Eyebrow Pomade Pencil, I'm just going to fill in my brow. Now, keeping in mind, I did not use any kind of brow wax. I didn't go in with my Patrick Ta. Basically, these are bare brows, and that's because I wanted to see how this really works. And I have to say, I am so super impressed. For being like a $3.50 product, I actually think I may like it even a little bit more than my e.l.f. pencil, the $2 one. Something about this was so easy to use. It wasn't overly thick. It was creamy enough, and it filled in my brows so perfectly. So I'm excited to use this in conjunction with my Patrick Ta products to see how it plays with those. But first impression, this is absolutely amazing for the price. Going into the Makeup Revolution Neon Heat Palette, you guys, listen, I've never seen a neon palette quite like this before. So let's go ahead and start off with the shade Electric. It is the purple matte shade, going in with a BH Cosmetics blending brush and literally being quite sloppy with this. I'm putting it into my crease. I'm going to place it on my outer lid. We're going to put it on the inner lid. But seriously, being super sloppy because I really want this to show up. This is one of the primary colors I want on my eye. I know you can't tell, but my dress is also purple, and so I needed it to pair well with this. The mattes and basically every single type of shade, not shade, formula in this palette is so amazing. I cannot believe that this palette was 25 bucks, but I did layer this a couple of times just because I really wanted it to be super rich. But again, for being a neon palette, honestly, you don't need to build a whole lot, and typically with other neon palettes you do. So love this so far. Going in with the next shade, which is called Cocktail. Now I'm going in with like a smaller blending brush because I'm going to place this over top of the purple that I placed in my crease, and all it's doing is peeking through. I'm going in with a really light hand. I just want to add a little bit of pink because here you'll see in just a bit we're going to put pink on the lids, and I really just want it to tie it all together. Literally, that was just one application. I could have just left it there. You guys know me though, I like to layer, so I did go in with another little bit of product and just, again, blending it right at the edge of the purple. Perfection. I'm going in with my Fenty Pro Filter Eye Primer. This is just a staple for me when I'm going to use a super metallic or foiled shade, and this totally needs it. So, and needs it in the sense of I really want it to pop. So going in with the shade Holiday, this is such an intense pink, you guys. Both in the pan and on the lid, this literally jumps out at you. It is, when I tell you this neon palette is everything you have wanted in a neon eyeshadow palette, trust me, you need to go check it out. So just laying this down with my finger in basically as much of the lid area as I can. I had not used this one shade prior to this video, and I was just absolutely blown away. Like every time I packed it on, I was like, this can't get any better, and it seriously did. So going in with a little bit of that purple shade on the blending brush with the shade Electric, just to kind of blend it all together, and then a flat shader brush to kind of get into the areas that I couldn't get with my finger. So I just added a little bit to this Tarte brush, and I'm taking it up to where my lid meets my crease, because if I go in with my finger, it would end up a little messier than I'd like. So just kind of packing that on in the areas that my finger did not reach. So eyes are done. All I did off camera really was liner and lashes. And now it's time for this Maybelline Perfector 4-in-1. So this did, upon first application, take a ton of twisting, but I'm at a good place now. So literally I slather this on my face. Not everyone's like me, and I completely understand that, but for me, I like to basically cover every portion of my face with this thing. It's not as thick as the Charlotte Tilbury, so I definitely can get away with it. I can't do this with the Charlotte Tilbury. It would look way too cakey. This is just a lot thinner of a consistency. So just using a Sephora foundation brush, and I'm just gonna kind of smooth it all out. Quite frankly, the filtered look that this product gives my skin, I can't even with the fact that it's drugstore. I would hands down forego my Charlotte Tilbury one for this one, hands down. It doesn't feel like anything on my skin. It's super lightweight, but it, again, adds like this filter. And I don't find that it's like sparkly. I feel like if I put it out in the sun, within the bottle I can see sparkles, but once I put it on my face, I don't see any sparkles. It does give me that glowy glazed donut look that y'all know I love so much. Now going in with the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I did go in with the shade Tan Lines. I didn't listen. I had watched a Babs Beauty video where she had said because of the formula, go a step up. And I was like, oh, I don't know. You know, it was one of those decisions I made a little too difficult. It should have been an easy decision. But I left Honey Drip and got Tan Lines, and I should have gotten Honey Drip. This one still looks beautiful on my skin tone though. So if you share my same skin tone, Tan Lines and Honey Drip will work for you. This one actually just takes a couple of layers, but honestly, it adds a warmth to my skin without looking like I tried. It doesn't look like I really tried to put bronzer on there. It looks like my skin legitimately looks just warm. I mean, it adds this bronzy glow, and that's for lack of a better phrase, really. But I really do like it. I do wish, though, I had gone a step up in shades. And if you're wondering, the consistency feels very much like the Fenty cream bronzer. It's got like that balmy gel kind of feel. Going back in with the foundation brush, not more product. I'm really just evening out where I did like the bronze on my cheeks because as always, it looks muddy on me. Just my application, really. Going in with the Ilia Serum Concealer. This is definitely not drugstore, but I didn't have a new concealer to use. So just kind of blending that out with my Rare Beauty concealer brush. And you can tell, like this Perfector by Maybelline, it just plays very, very well with this concealer. With these types of face products, I always go in with a lighter concealer because if not, the thicker concealer, you can tell, like, okay, I've got one heavy product here and then a lighter product with the rest of my face. So I always go in with lighter coverage concealers. I just let it sit before I blend it out. Makes all the difference in the world. So just going to add some under eye setting powder. This is just my Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Blurring Under Eye Powder. This is typically what I use these days for under eyes. It just plays well with practically all my concealers at this point. And then going in with a very light application of powder foundation. This particular one is the Urban Decay Stay Naked in 40NN. Literally, there is the lightest amount of product on my brush. That Perfector is so good on its own. I just, hands down, can use it as a BB cream and just go. But this adds even a little bit more and kind of sets it with still letting that glow shine through. And then lastly, going in with my Powerpuff Girls blush in Saving the World. I did pick mine up on the Colourpop website, but it is now available on Ulta's site as well, just using a Sonia Kashuk blush brush. And Colourpop, honestly, do I really even have to say it? They make great blushes. I mean, this was no exception. I went in with a couple of applications just because I wanted my cheeks a little peachier than just a sheer wash of color, but nothing short of awesome for the Powerpuff theme and the price tag. Now with an IT Cosmetics little, I don't know, stumpy liner brush, I guess. This is from a holiday collection a few years back. I'm going back in with the shade Electric, and it's the exact same matte shade I used on the lid, and it is just to tie it all together. I'm not going to do anything special, anything out of the ordinary, literally just placing this all over my lower lash line. So next I am going in with the shade Selfie and a small detailer brush, and this really is just to go into my inner corner, but it packs such a glowing punch. It's absolutely beautiful, and I really didn't need a whole lot. I did end up going with 2 layers, but 1 would have been sufficient. You guys know me, I'm just extra and I always go in with 2 of everything. And guys, that brings us to the end of the finished look. I loved every product I used in this video. Alrighty, my friends, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful. I hope if any one of these products were on your list that it kind of helped you decide. I am just going to be completely honest with you. These 2 products, some of the 2 best drugstore products I have tried in my life. This I like better than the Charlotte Tilbury. I know a lot of people have been comparing it to that one, and I actually like it better. It's slightly thinner, so it doesn't look as cakey. I can go in with more, and I can get away with using this as literally like a BB cream, going in with a tiny bit of maybe foundation powder or a couple of drops, like minute drops of foundation, mixing it in, and it looks so flawless. I love the light coverage that it gives my skin. It's breathable, but it looks really put together, really nice. This is such a recommend, you guys. If you were interested, definitely check it out. And wow, I'm not usually a huge fan of Makeup Revolution products. This blew my mind, you guys, and it is the 3rd time that I use it, so it's not like it was a surprise that I was gonna love it, but the shades that I used today, a couple of them I had not used. So this, if you are a neon shadow lover, this is probably the best neon shadow palette I have come across ever. It's 25 bucks. You can use an Ulta coupon. Definitely recommend. The other products really did so nicely. The Putty bronzer, I did not listen. Babs Beauty had said, go a shade up because it's very balmy, so it ends up running a little light, and that was true. I can use this one. I just have to layer it a couple of times. But I think Honey Drip would have been a little bit more appropriate for my skin tone, in case you share my same skin tone. Anyways, all in all, love the products that I used in this video. So over the moon that they were drugstore. Again, I really think drugstore being hit or miss is kind of a thing of the past for me, because lately, I mean, I'm talking the last year and a half, I have really been enjoying drugstore products. So that being said, you guys, I am going to leave you with a very quick verse of the day. I will leave it here below because I'm out the door at this moment. I love each and every one of you so very much, but Jesus loves you so much more. I love you guys. Take care. I will see you soon. Till the next one, friends. Bye.